Welcome to this lesson, uh, HTML list. And in this lesson, we are going to be discussing what lists are in HTML and how we uh, go about creating lists. So, HTML lists are generally used to represent information in a structured way, and it's basically grouping sets of related items together. And I'm just gonna go and talk about some examples. So the first one we're gonna look at is the ordered list, and this is basically a list that is in a particular order. By default, it comes with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For example, one Monday to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you can see how ordered the list is based on the days of the week. Now, to write this, what we need is what we call the ordered list tag, which is the OL tag, right? Which would precede the list and end the list. And each individual row list element will have the LI tag. So it's going to have the beginning LI, closing LI. I'm just going to put in the LI tag. Now, then the second one is what we call the unordered list. And this list is a list that is not ordered in any particular uh, direction, if I should say. So, for example, we have Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Saturday, Friday, and this is not ordered in any way, but you can see that it doesn't have the one, two, three, four. So this is what we call the unordered list, right? So we use the UL tag to open close this list, and it's the same as the other list. It's going to have the li tag for the individual list elements. So let's dive right into the coding part. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Let's look at the unordered lists, right? So to do an unordered list, the first thing we need is what the UL tag, and every individual element or every individual list element will be the li, right? So I'm going to put in here Monday, and then second one, say Saturday, and then maybe one more, let's say Friday, right? So if I refresh this, you can see Monday, Saturday, Friday, and you can see that it's bulleted, not indexed as a 1, 2, 3, right? So that is the unordered list. For the ordered list, what we are gonna have will be, uh, and I'm gonna just keep this. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna first put ordered list, and here same thing, but it's gonna be OL, and then we're going to have our list elements. So Monday. The next one should be Tuesday, and then Wednesday. Wednesday. Okay, so if I refresh this, you can see it's the number formatted. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. The next type of list that we want to talk about is what we would refer to as the description list, right? And this list basically is a list of items with a description for each item, right? So in this one, what we have is a DL tag, and this defines the description list itself, right? So we are going to have the DL tag. Now with the description list, it's going to have the the DT tag, which is gonna be the tag for the name of the each individual list item. So for example, let's do one DT, and then in DT, let's just say put in the Monday, right? So this is individual items, right? So let's just do another one, another DT, and then Tuesday, right? Now, one more thing that the description list has is the DD tag, right? So the DD tag describes each item in the list. So for Monday, I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna say, give me a DD, and then put a description in there, right? So this is the first working day of the week, right? And then we might want to put a description for Tuesday and say, I hate Tuesdays, something like that, right? So if I refresh this, you can see that now it has the list item and then it has the description for each list. So that is the description list. By default, and on other lists comes with, as we described, bullets, right? But what if we wanted to deviate from the norm, right? So let's take an example. I'm just going to copy this, paste it right here, and say with uh, well, without bullets, right? Without bullets. Okay, so we still have our list, right? Monday, Saturday, Friday. Now, in order to kind of like style this differently, what we need to do is that we have a property that we call list style type, right? And the list style type property is used to define the style of the item markup, which is in this case the default bullet, right? So let's take this as an example. So I'm going to put this as our style, and then I'm going to put this list style, and I can just select this, and you can see that I can select disk as a value, right? So all I'm saying is that instead of giving me a bullet, give me a disk, right? So if I refresh this, it gave me a disk, oh, which is the default, right? So the disk is the default, right? So let's say I wanted a circle, right? So instead of disk, I'm gonna say circle, right? And then I'm gonna refresh this, and you can see that it's circle, right? The bullet was circle. We also have the square. If you wanted a square, we could give that, right? So if I refresh this, it becomes a square, right? And then if you wanted nothing, so none, you can put in none. And when you refresh that, you have nothing, right? So that is the difference. So for now, why don't we just put in the square, right? Square, and then refresh this, right? So the next one that we would want to look at will be how do we nest HTML lists. So let me just put a comment here. So it says nested HTML list. Okay. So let's take another example, maybe days of the month in the year. So we have our UL on ordered list, and then we have our first LI list element, which is say January, right? And then maybe create another one, called February. February. And yeah, so this is fine too. It's good. So this, if I refresh this, gives me just a usual unordered list, January, February. But if I wanted to nest a list under this, I can say, okay, under this list element January, I want to create a sub list. So I have to put another UL, which kind of defines that you are creating another list. And then in your UL, you can now put in another LI, right? And say maybe if you're looking at events in January, you say maybe New Year's, right? And maybe you need something else, LI, maybe my birthday. Okay, so this will be a nested HTML list. And if I refresh this, you can see that January, and then you have this. So you can style it appropriately if you want. You can see that the bullets changed because you are in a nested, it gives you that differentiation, right? So that is a nested HTML list. For ordered list also, and I'm gonna copy this so that I don't have to recreate this. So for the ordered list also, we can also do the same thing. If we wanted to change the default from the numbering, right? I could just type in this type and say I want it to be A, B, C, D instead. So I'm going to put in the A, right? And then if I refresh this, you can see that's Monday A, B, Tuesday C, Wednesday, right? So that is the difference, right? So to change an ordered list default, you can either do this, just put in the type and put in the letter A, right? If you wanted it to be small instead of big, you can just put in A, and then if I refresh this, you have it as small letters, right? If you want it to be Roman numerals, just put in there, say I, and then it gives you that, right? So there are a lot of ways to do this, and if you want it as a small lowercase, you can do this, and it gives you your lower case. Great. So by default, and let me just take this, right? So this is the default, uh, right? And that by default, it starts counting from one, right? So what if you wanted to start counting from, say, 10, right? What we can use is this start and then put in where you wanted to start counting from, say, 10. So if I refresh this, you can see it starts counting from 10. So that's another way to do it. And again, for nested loops with an unordered list, it's the same as for the ordered list, it's the same as unordered list. You just create it, and then you can then put in, and I'm gonna start from one, and I'm gonna say another well, and then put in there li, and put in the whatever you want to put in the favorite day. What? And then maybe Wednesday, I'm gonna put in another UL and say li for the element and say worst day, right? So if I refresh this, I have Monday, February, and 3 wins. So that's how it is done. So it's the same as for the unordered list, it's just nest the elements together, right? So thank you for watching this lesson. This lesson, in summary, talks about how we can uh, create a list, whether ordered or unordered, and how we can change their properties to match what we want. So see you in the next lesson, and thanks for watching. Bye.